How are things going, holders of XRP? Greetings from the Crypto ZDX channel again. We will discuss all things XRP here, gaining a thorough grasp of what we are looking at and, of course, what we might anticipate on Friday morning. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and hit the like button if you're enjoying our daily XRP updates. It makes a big difference. However, without further ado, let's examine the current state of the market. For the past hour, I want you all to concentrate. Upon examining the market as a whole, we can see that altcoins are rapidly increasing in value. Almost everything appears to have been up for the past hour, which is always pleasant to see. XRP increased by roughly 0.4%. Regarding the pricing, the 24-hour trading volume is approximately $1.4 billion, and the valuation is 2.16 at $127 billion. Before we continue, though, let me just quickly clarify that nothing on this channel is financial advice. Always conduct your own research and due diligence before making a cryptocurrency investment. Look at this, folks. I wanted to share this chart with you because it's very intriguing and it demonstrates where the demand for Bitcoin is actually coming from. Why are these large organizations concentrating on Bitcoin? All of these large organizations and asset managers undoubtedly wish they could go back and stop disparaging Bitcoin here. Take a look at Bitcoin in comparison to the U.S. national debt with a focus on the years 2010 through 2025. As of right now, the national debt has risen from $13 trillion to $36.2 trillion. Additionally, Bitcoin started off below $1 and is currently trading between $100,000 and $100,000. Once more, it's crazy to consider. Naturally, the main reason for drawing this analogy is that the U.S. government could have essentially paid off its debt if it had invested in Bitcoin at that time. It's pretty clear that it's not as high, especially when it's in the Bitcoin reserve. Of course, in hindsight, that's not how things work, but it's still an interesting chart that demonstrates how far this asset class has come, something that many people still ignore. You know, I might use this video into my own. If not, let me briefly review the situation. Senator Cynthia Lumens has informed us that Bitcoin is necessary for the reserve. We must establish a strategic reserve for Bitcoin. Can observe. According to Senator Cynthia Lumens, the best way to address America's national debt is through the Bitcoin strategic reserve. Consequently, this makes some sense if we take a step back and examine this. She goes on to explain that Bitcoin is a revolutionary technology and that people who work really hard throughout their lives also benefit financially from it. Because you can't just go tomorrow and start. You might have currency that has value but can't be printed. By pressing that printer button, you can either begin printing or add more Bitcoin to the market. That isn't how Bitcoin operates. It is limited, and as time goes on, security gets better. I apologize, every 4 years at the event, the award is slashed in half, which makes scarcity worse. Naturally, you're starting to see a lot of people paying attention now. You may be wondering how this affects XRP and other altcoins. Because given the current level of demand and the amount of money entering the market, Major players will likely be searching for other opportunities as well as other coins with practical applications. As we all know, real-world use case utility projects are not certain to succeed, and because it has been developing for, years and years, this is where Ripple XRP excels. Naturally, I believe it will actually get that favorable exposure and momentum this time. You're already beginning to notice it, and I believe that people will soon recognize how crucial it is to build over time. In my opinion, XRP will emerge as one of the utility projects that will truly transform the way we do finance. Now let's move on to this brilliant performance that was released by the National Cryptocurrency Association. This is a significant time for the Genius Act. Find out what it might mean for you. Strong protection for your stablecoins, unambiguous guidelines for stablecoin issuers, and increased confidence in utilizing cryptocurrency for regular savings and payments. A significant step toward clarity, safety, and even more practical use cases would be taken if this first-of-its-kind bill were to become law. It would establish the first national framework of a stable coin in the United States. Massive, and it just kind of helps you appreciate why this measure will completely change how digital assets are assessed on a daily basis, particularly in the United States. Going forward, the Genius Act was enacted in 2025. How likely is that right now? The Genius Act, a stablecoin bill, has an 89% probability of becoming law this year according to Polymarket users. It's clear that the first half of the year is rapidly coming to an end. Will it be the case in the second half of the year? Naturally, as I mentioned, that would be revolutionary to say the least if that were to occur. However, I wanted to go over this again to give folks a better idea of what Ripple has been doing. It's not enough for a business to say something and then do nothing. Even with the significant obstacle that stood in their way. The SEC litigation, which has been ongoing for a while, they have been developing throughout the years. And you can see them making significant steps even though it's clearly on the verge of being fully decided right now. You can see some well-known names here as well, and these are obviously rebel partners. It's clear that these men are not here to play around when you look at these large institutions around the world, not just in North America. It also demonstrates that all of these large organizations and corporations, I apologize, are genuinely paying attention to this. They may use Ripple and the XRP ledger together with all of the products and services that Ripple provides to take use of this new digital asset and, of course, the blockchain technology itself. Naturally, this will also raise the price of XRP. Regarding XRP's price, as you may have noticed over the past few weeks, we have actually seen some businesses join the fray and raise money to establish